try to do this again. Alright. Sorry for a second. I'm trying to see how this works now. Yeah, you're gonna hear me double talk, but I'm trying to fix this up. Well, I can just mute it. But, just to recap what I was talking about earlier, since I had to change some settings. Family has COVID, so we had to be quarantined. But with me working from home, I can continue working. Been doing a lot of other things, which has kept me busy. I mean, medical, blood pressure issues, the little one's birthday, you're itched. But I believe I got this fixed now. Yeah, I was dealing with that, COVID. I mean, I explained how we had the shots, and so when it started going talking about Kyle Rittenhouse trial, about how I think that the jury's made their decision. We should leave it as that. We shouldn't be throwing a hissy fit over it being against what we believe. And technically, I don't think I should take anyone's opinion but my own on that verdict. But I would recommend you more listen to the people who have a degree in some form of the law. I mean, whether it's a criminal justice degree or a law to be a lawyer, or even whatever they need to be judged. But if they have a degree that puts them in law enforcement or dealing with laws, you might want to listen more towards what they have to say than just a celebrity. Because the celebrities are only going to give you their opinions. Does it mean they're right? Not all the time, but it's just hard for you to understand what they're thinking if all you're getting forced is to see is people's opinions instead of the actual evidence. Because that's what it is. Now, you can call me conservative, but I'll put it this way. I have seen a lot of evidence on the other trial that's going on, and I'll put it this way. As from what I've seen evidence-wise, that was not a form of self-defense. It was the people who chased down the individual that was running. As from what I've seen, that is not considered self-defense. Because they actually chased down that individual. But of course, if any other evidence comes out that proves otherwise, that can change my opinion. And that's how we need to look at these events, is what the evidence shows. Not how we feel or what news or celebrities tell us how we should feel about it. It should be what the evidence shows us. And if the verdict don't go our way, we should take it as that. I mean, you can protest, but you shouldn't be violent about it. Because violence is what's going to cause more issues. So far, it looks like I've got a decent break going. I think I'm about ready to stream now. Actually, with games. But in the event that family calls, I'll probably have to get off. But just so you know, I just also thought of. I don't know who came up with the idea of No Nut November. But November, from my perspective, is not No Nut November. It's No Shave November. And that's usually something in the Army where they don't shave off their mustache. Excuse me. But I would like to do, before I switch over to the game, I would like to people to just stop fighting amongst each other, because it's just going to make things a lot worse. And you may have an event like what's been going on happen again. Alright, I'm going to switch over to the game. As long as it does it. I'm just going to have to keep over. I'm going to keep up Twitch to see if it works. And it's going to take a little bit. Alright. Yeah, I've got a slow internet connection. I'm going to try this. Take out that. Hopefully help with my internet. Actually, I should just use my phone, because they have the app and I can just go directly to Twitch and look through my app instead of on my computer. And that way, if something's off, I can see it better there. Huh. Weird. Why is it not switching? There we go. Let's see if that fixes it. There we go. Seeing. Let's see. My channel. Pull up the video. Alright. That way I can see what's going on and hopefully yeah, I probably should turn on the audio. You probably can hear it over in the mic though. Pull this up. Yeah, you'll hear it turn off. Alright, let me see. Oh yeah, you can hear it through my mic. Alright, well then I won't turn the desktop audio on. Alright. This might even be a little laggy. Alright. Oh, tell me that's lagging again. I hate when that happens. So let's see if we can get this going. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see. Alright. Pull this down. This down. I need to change it. I'm still learning some basics, I mean. I think it froze. Nice. Let's see. Let me see. It's saying it froze, so. Always does that. I'm gonna say, I'm not the best streamer. Yet. I'm just trying. It's always constantly buffering. Yep, that's what that. Dang it. It's just play new settings. It's just new settings. Still. Alright. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll just end it, stop the game. Gameplay for now. Until I figure out what the issue is. I have to just go back to it, just stay talking. Just for a bit now. Yeah, it just hasn't been working properly. Still. I just don't have the graphics card to probably handle all of that. I guess I'm gonna have to work on getting the computer up to a different standard. Alright. Doing a shift. It's a pain. And sorry about all the issues. No. Oh, come on. People are just bored these days. And I'm just waiting for it to hopefully catch up. Because I doubt it's going to. Yep. It's my system, it's not your internet if you're questioning why it keeps jumping like it does. Well, actually, give it a second to catch up, so I'm going to put just a blank screen up for now. Well, not a blank screen, but just a stationary screen, and see if that'll give us a chance to catch up. I'm gonna close this out as well. But different mindsets on what they'd like to see. I don't care. Exactly. Well, I shouldn't say I don't care what other people do. I'd like to do my own thing. And I have a feeling there, it looked like it there. It freed up a little bit, this speed. So, let's see if it will fix itself now. Seems like the camera works okay. Just there's a lot going on. I know. and I've been asked by family why I use the name Sergeant Stepdad as my streaming name, well, my streaming and video, my name on these platforms that I'm on. It's, well, let's see. I mean, they understand the sergeant because I'm a sergeant. I'm a sergeant in the army and soon to be was a sergeant in the army. And by all legal sense, I am a stepdad. So I decided to use a stepdad, but I don't consider myself actually as the kids as stepkids. I consider them as my kids because I'm the one that's been raising them, the girls, since they were, I believe, 4 and 5, somewhere around there. The little one actually is my blood. So, I don't have much of an audience on Twitch right now. I'm gonna work on that part. So, but I have done a lot of things that kids, some children out there don't understand. I mean, I know they don't understand why their mom and dad broke up, especially when they're little. I mean, I've been through that too. Like, my parents actually got divorced when I was going into, I think it was 5th grade. Yeah, 5th grade. I didn't understand, but sometimes these things happen, and it may not necessarily mean your parents are mad. Well, when may not necessarily mean that the parent you're staying with is. You say you're leaving with your mom and you're staying with your mom, but your dad's the one that leaves. Doesn't necessarily mean your dad is a bad person. It just means they grew apart, and it has nothing to do with you. It's more of them. But there are occasions when one parent's a bad person. I can't say for sure that my kid's real dad is a bad person. I mean, technically, I can say because, well, actually, I can't say he's kind of a bad person. I mean, he spent a lot of time in jail. He was abusive as well. And that's one of the things when you gotta look at when you get into relationships. Is try to avoid the abusive people. I've had my share of an abusive relationship, and that's why I left her. Males are not always the abusive ones in your relationships. It's more times they're the ones that are physically abusive, but females but females can be emotionally abusive. That's how my ex was. She was emotionally abusive. I mean, she did hit me one time, and when you get another significant other, you will have to tell them to avoid certain things because it could be a traumatic experience. I had to explain to my wife about one of those events, and she understood because she has been through an abusive relationship. So, and if you end up in one of those, it's no matter what your gender is, it's not weakness to seek help, and it's always a good idea to seek help on those instances. If like you need to get away and need a place to stay, that's where your friends and families go. I mean, when I left my ex, my sister gave me a place to stay because I just needed to get out of there, and I didn't have any other place to go. I mean, I lost a few things in that transition, but it was worth it. Now I'm happily married, 3 kids. I'm more than willing to help people through problems that they have the best I can, because I like to help people. There's a lot of options out there that for people that are in abusive relationships to get out of it. And there's also a lot of support out there for kids that have parents that are separated, especially if the parents are abusive. I mean, yeah, a lot of times soldiers get divorced. It's not always clear why, but I think part of it, some of them have to do with the young soldiers marrying strippers. Oh, young soldiers marrying strippers. I mean, I'm lucky I didn't do that. My first wife was not a stripper. She just changed into an abusive person. And from what I understand, I'm lucky I got out of that relationship because she got into hard drugs and had a child, which I'm lucky I didn't have a child with her. That child had a issue that was related to drugs. And that is why drugs are never okay. Now there's the harder drugs. I'm not gonna get into marijuana because that always seems like a hot button issue with people. But I'll say this: it just depends on the type. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this with relationships. It's not all flowers and smiles and sugar. You're gonna have those hard moments where you get on the other person's nerve or they get on your nerves, and you may have an argument. But in the end, as long as you talk it out in the end, everything will be fine. I mean, yesterday the wife was grumpy, but we level head prevailed. I mean, there's some days I feel like her head's gonna spin around, especially when she's mad at someone else. She's gonna spin around and vomit on them. But she can get that way, and she lacks a filter. So anything that my wife says needs to be taken with a grain of salt because things could get really out there. Now, might as well go to the jokes with the military. That's been a fun thing, and a confusing thing for my wife. Now, I've got a buddy in the Army. He actually is Vietnamese. He was born in Vietnam. He was adopted to a family that lives here in the United States. But we kind of make racist, you can call it racist remarks to each other out of fun. We're just making jokes. Okay? You can call them racist, but I'm not going to use them here. But we do it out of fun. We're not hurting each other. And this is something that some people need to understand is if you're not that person that if you're not that person, you shouldn't be getting all up in a huff about it because you think that person's being racist to the other person. It's up to that person to say, hey, stop it. That's offensive to me. Then we go into the, I'm going to put it in this term, homosexual jokes. We're not making fun of that group of people. We just joke that way. And it's actually kind of, it doesn't hurt anyone. It's not hurting anyone. I mean, when we're doing it to each other. Now, if we were to do it off due to someone that actually doesn't like that kind of stuff, that's a problem. But if we're in mutual agreement, it's usually fine. It's always been fun. I mean, there's actually three of us who do that together. I know after I get out, me and him are still gonna at least the three of us may hang out once in a while and have some fun. Usually, those of us in the military treat each other like a family. So you can make jokes with family and that kind of stuff. I mean, actually, maybe one of these days I'll record us having our fun. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else I'm going to talk about. It's been a nuisance around. There's been a lot going on. No, nothing really serious going on that needs talked about. You know, I'm still trying to fix up a '91 Camaro when I've got time. It's doing okay. I mean, we've already mostly got almost our Christmas shopping done. I mean, it's all hidden back there. Yeah, I've got my vest hanging up. There's one that's not hanging up that I should hang up once I remember where I put it. Which I think is actually out in the garage right now. But I've used that vest for my training. Now that's just my personal vest. That first aid pouch that's on there, this one, it's actually got quite a bit of stuff that usually as someone who's certified as a combat lifesaver could use, which I was certified several times by the Army for that. I mean, yeah, you gotta do it every year, but I have, so that means I have medical training on how to use it. Yeah, I've been trying to clean up this. I'm going through all that again, making sure I have the stuff the Army wants that back packed in one bag, and the stuff I get to keep in another bag. But with my old unit closed down, I have to keep multiple stuff. I have multiple bags down here. Yes. But the helmet that's right over here, that's actually mine, my own personal helmet, and everything on it is mine to keep. I don't use it for much of anything. I mean, when I go out and teach someone, I'll have them wear this, especially if they're going to use a handgun for the first time. That way, when the firearm comes bouncing back, it actually hits this instead of hitting them in the face, because they're not used to the recoil. So I put it as safety. I always want to think of safety when doing things. I know some people are just on here. Sorry. I just your average person. I'm not some kind of outgoing person. It's always fun. Um, actually, I just really something. I actually recently had a friend that I was talking to. Um, she ended up joining the army to get out of a bad home. I'll put it that way. I mean, that's a good reason to get out. I mean, she went for active duty, and she is right now actually at basic training. She's gonna end up being a drum mechanic. And I'm happy that she's been able to do that. She found something she'll enjoy, and she's doing her best to enjoy it. And I've given her some pointers with basic training. Like, I know they stopped doing a shark attack, but the best thing to do is be forgettable. Like I told her the best thing I thought was to be forgettable. Be where you need to be on time, or and always have a battle buddy. Because I mean, I was so unforgettable that even after a little tussle I got into, a drill sergeant didn't remember me. So yeah, it was fun. I mean, let me put it this way: when I went through in 2004, it was a pain. I It had its ups and downs, but looking back now, would I go through that all over again? The answer is yes, and I do it with a smile on my face. And I actually follow Angry Cops, and I would enjoy spending watching a drill, him do his drill sergeant thing in person, because he's pretty comical, even when he's trying to teach. But yeah, I mean, being in the military is not for everyone. I mean, I went through when I was 17. One thing, though, that irritated me when I came back was the school said the coaches for the high school football team said since I did not go to their training camp, I could not play, even though I was in really good shape when I came back. And in basic training, you do more exercise a day than they do at that training camp. They would ever do at that training camp. Because you're at the Army, you're there for 24 hours, 7 days a week. So every day you're exercise. You pretty much will get some form of exercise. I mean, even in the 3 phases, you get your red, white, and blue phases. Can't remember exact order, but I know red. You start off in red phase, and that's the roughest phase. Yeah, and I think it does go red, white, and blue. But we get up to all the way to the last phase, and then this has happened actually. What I'm talking about happened at mine. We got all the way up to the last phase, and we had some soldiers helping load ammo, and we went to Stickface after that. Man, it just means you get pretty much treated like you just came in. So, yes, they do group punishments, and then in some events they'll do individual individual punishments. Like I was helping a soldier get. He for some reason was behind and trying to help him get ready to go and all that, and I stayed with him to be a battle buddy. So I ended up taking some heat for that, along with the squad leader. But I was being a good battle buddy. I took that smoking with a grain of salt because I knew it was gonna happen either way. I guess. If you ever come to my live streams and you have a question for me, go ahead and ask it. So it's not like I'm gonna say not just ignore it. I'll answer it as long as it's not something that is hurtful to someone. I mean, I wanna. I'll try to help people the best I can, even on here. There's always a lot going on in this world. I mean, I usually if I'm gonna be talking on a live stream, I'm probably gonna be all over the place. Um, because I lose my train of thought, or I will probably forget something, or start talking about something else. It's just how it is. I mean, it's just have to be random in conversations. Bring up some random topic and like, why are you talking about that when we're talking about this? I don't know. This is how my mind works. I'm surprised the little one isn't awake yet. Usually, when I try to do stuff, he ends up awake. Who knows? There was supposed to be a birthday party yesterday for him, but COVID just kind of made it a problem. But we're just trying to do what we can for him. I can look and see what's going on in the rest of the house from my security cameras. Well, at least the living room, dining room, and kitchen. Bedrooms are off. Bedrooms and bathroom are off limit because that's not how you're supposed to keep a house secure. You're not supposed to be spying on your family. I'm still trying to figure. I'm probably gonna have to do some more adjustments later on streaming stuff. But this hasn't been too strenuous. I'm just still trying to do the best I can with the equipment I have at hand. Since, let me put it this way, as it broke. You know, I was gonna probably be broke for a while. At least until the older two move out. Then I might be able to have a little more money, and that's part of the issue is been trying to keep up with the bills. I mean, I have been doing the best I can, but sometimes a bill slips, and then I also gotta keeping the house clean and all that. It's one of those stressors that I'm trying to get away from. I'm trying to lower my stressors. And actually, I think this kind of helps a bit. I mean, getting things out and all that. I'll probably cut this off at about an hour since I'm just talking. And let me put it this way. I've got a lot of messages going on. And that was from a group I joined. Is to help with prevent veteran suicide. I think suicide in general needs to be addressed. But it needs to be done. Stuff like that needs to be helped with. Those people need to also, well, let me put it this way. Suicidal people that think it's a sign of weakness getting help because people have been placing that stigma on it need to understand it's not a sign of weakness to seek help. I'll be honest. I've had down days. Not down to a point where I was suicidal. I just had points where I was about to just give up and doing stuff and go and hide. Go into hiding. But I took time. I ended up going to talk to someone that in my old unit, and having that conversation with someone is helpful in those aspects because it will help find you assistance for the things that are bothering you. Even just talking to someone can be helpful. I mean, this the individual I talked to happened to have been my platoon sergeant. He also was EO and and actually part of, and helps with the suicide stuff. But you need to talk if you're gonna want to talk to someone. You're gonna if you're feeling down and but you're even if you're not in good to the point where you're thinking of suicide or self deletion, I probably should put it that way. You should go and talk to someone, whether it's your parents, a sibling, anyone that you can trust to help alleviate that issue. That'd be helpful. And it might even be you go and talk to your doctor about it. Because sometimes they will be appreciative that you're talking to them about it. Because at least I know my doctor would be. And if because he would like to keep me around, keep me around for a while, have me around for a while, and not just because he's a doctor, but because he's a caring individual. I mean, he's asked my wife a question even when she wasn't there to see him herself. She was there with another individual. Spiders. I need to do some cleaning down here. Is there some cobwebs going up? And of course, the only reason why they're in here is because it's getting colder. Outside. I think. Eventually, I'm going to do some research and hopefully maybe next time I stream, it's a little better. Where I'm actually playing a game and it's not laggy as all get up. Maybe I'll have to find games that are offline. I mean, like, I can play Mass Effect, I can play Skyrim, which I might actually do eventually. I mean, my Skyrim's modded, but and if I play Mass Effect, it's gonna be the original three. It's not gonna be the legendary. Because to be honest, I don't like remakes. They're never really that fun. But I'll probably play it in a leisurely way where I'll say it this way: that it'll be characters I've had for a while and they've got the best armor and all that, and not on like a really same difficulty. That way, I can also have a conversation while playing and you can still enjoy some gameplay. I mean, I could pull up stuff and I mean, pull up stuff and review it like other people do, but that's just what other people do. mean, I know I've been doing review of certain items. I mean, I've got one I've got to work on here shortly. But with it getting cold outside, it gets hard to do things outside, especially if you need to use a lighter, which I might actually use. I know right now, it's a lighter, but right now it annoys one of my kids because they can hear it when I turn it on. I mean, I don't destroy the. I'm not trying to destroy items that I've reviewed. Um, I know I could review another item. Most of the items I review is survival items. I mean, if you get cut to the point of the video, if you want me to tell you exactly what's in this, I will. Because I'm pretty sure some people would like to know what's in there. Because if they don't know what's in a CLS bag, they're not going to know what's in there. But I'm going to call it good for now. And I'm going to do the research to see if I can use my laptop, my old laptop that was made in 2012, if I can use that as a way to post the videos. Because I can't, it seems like I need a separate thing because this has been a little bit of an issue. I will see you next time.